Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to multiplying exponents. Well, multiplying with exponents. So remember that, for example, if we have x to the third, this part right here is my base. This part is my exponent. So what they're asking me to do, if I were to multiply this, is going to be x to the third, and remember we use a dot, so it could be x to the fourth. Now again, remember this is my base. My base has not changed, and when your base doesn't change, you get to kind of keep it. So our base is x, and all we have to do is add our exponents. So this would be 3 plus 4, which equals x to the 7th. Okay? But what happens if we have more than one base? So sometimes you'll see things where, for example, we're in parentheses, x to the third, y squared, times x to the fourth, and y. First of all, I want you to remember there's an invisible little number right here. Do you guys remember what that number is? Good, it's 1. So now the way I'm going to rewrite this, because it's the same principle that we just did, what are our two bases? X and y. Good. So I'm going to write those out. Now how many x's do I have? In order to figure out how many I have to look at my exponent. So how many x's do I have? Good, I have 7. Now just for some color variation, let's look at how many y's I have, looking at the exponents. Good, I have 3 y's. So my answer ends up x to the 7th, y to the 3rd. Whenever we multiply exponents, all you're doing, and this is one of those nice things, just add the exponents. I know you guys are all asking, but what happens if there's an integer? What happens if there's an integer? Let me erase that mistake first. So if I have an integer, so I have 3x squared times 2x to the 4th. I'm going to look at my integers first. Those are my whole numbers. So remember, your integers and your bases are actually really different. They can come apart. They're kind of like Legos. We can pull them apart, we can put them back together, we can rearrange them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by multiplying them, because this is all about multiplication. So 3 times 2, which is 6, and then I have my base. Just a reminder, here's my base, and it's the same, and since it's the same, I can just multiply them. So that means it's x, and then 4 plus 2 is 6. Oh, look, lots of 6's. 6 times x to the 6th. Okay? Let's try another one. What happens if we have 2 x to the 3rd, y to the 4th, times, let's try 10, y to the 3rd, z squared. Ooh, this one can get a little bit trickier. So the first thing I'm going to do, I want to identify my integers. That's just going to make everything that much better. So identify my integers, and then I multiply those. So when I do that, I get 10 times 2, which is 20. Now, if you look, I have bases, and they're not all the same. So I actually have 3 different bases. What are they? X, Y, Z. Good job. So looking at this, I need to look at the integers of each of them. Okay, remember that's the little number at the top. So how many x's do I have? Good. I only have 3 because there's only 3 right here. It's not like I'm multiplying it by anything. It's just that's it. But my y's share something in common. I have 4 of them here. I have 3 of them here, which means I have 7 y's. Now if I look at my z's, I only have 1. Well, more than 1, but so I only have that 1, which is going to mean that I have 2 z's, or z squared. And this is why my answer looks like that. Okay? Go ahead and find some practice, work on these. Please leave me comments if you have any questions.